Sure.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Yeah.
Now, local news coverage you can rely on. Here's award-winning WWGP News Director Margaret Murchison.
Good morning. I'm Margaret Murchison. It's Friday, the 24th of April, 2020. 3 people at Universal Healthcare in Lillington, a nursing home in Harnett County, have tested positive for the coronavirus, but now that number has gone up considerably. Also, according to reports from the Rant, Lee County Board of Education member Sherry Womack attended this week's Reopen NC protest and allegedly told a television reporter that COVID-19 cases will rise when Governor Cooper's stay-at-home order is lifted, but added that you can't stay in your house forever. Quote, "The very moment we open up, it will increase our numbers because we've all been in the house. You can't stay in your house forever." End quote. Womack, a Republican elected in 2016 who is seeking re-election this year, was not identified in the story as an elected school board member, but her voice is recognizable in an audio recording of the television broadcast. Since Tuesday's protest, there have been 35 new COVID-19 cases confirmed in Lee County. The Lee County Health Department confirmed yesterday an additional 16 cases. No additional information about individual cases will be shared by the Health Department in order to maintain patient privacy. The current cumulative total of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Lee County is 80. The Health Department continues to monitor 73 individuals, and 7 individuals have resumed normal activities. At this time, there are no laboratory-confirmed COVID-19 deaths reported in the county. In response to a growing number of questions related to COVID-19 cases in the county, the Health Department would like to provide the following information. COVID-19 is a reportable disease, meaning that medical providers are required to notify the public health department of possible tests. However, these test results specific to a person or that person's place of employment are considered protected health information, and that's not public record, and are protected by law. The Lee County Health Department cannot share information that could potentially lead to individuals being identified. The laws are in place to protect the privacy of the individual, which is important with reportable diseases like C19, as there is often a stigma associated with these types of diseases. If an employer or other facility publicly discloses cases, the Health Department may be able to respond to some questions, but only to the extent of what has already been shared publicly. The Health Department will not be a source of any new information not already made public. This is not to protect employers, but rather to protect the privacy of individuals as outlined under the law. Lee County Health Department has been contacted by county employers to ensure they have access to and are aware of current recommendations and guidelines for protecting and maintaining the safety of their employees and operations. Guidelines and recommendations include specific details on what to do if an employee is symptomatic or asymptomatic. The Health Department has helped answer questions, provided clarification and advice when requested, and continues to serve as an available resource for county employees. Lee County demographic case data has not been released due to the low number of cases. This made it difficult to meet certain thresholds required to protect patient privacy. However, as the county case numbers have grown, the Lee County Health Department and Director has made the determination that limited demographic data may be shared. An outbreak at a Harnett County nursing home reported more than 2 days after a resident died of COVID-19 has now spread to 50 people. That's 45 residents and 5 employees. The patients are from Universal Healthcare in Lillington, and one reportedly died of complications from the virus on Saturday. In Moore County, Sheriff Ronnie Fields says, I want to report that in Moore County, 104 people have been confirmed positive, with 6 deaths reported. These numbers reflect the seriousness of the issue at hand. While the efforts of those of us in Moore County have been exemplary, we still have a lot of work to do. As we all know now, the governor has extended the stay-at-home order for all of North Carolina until May 8th. During these next 2 weeks and into the future, it is imperative that we continue to do our absolute best to abide by the CDC's guidelines. Well, the news again is taken over by the coronavirus, and we try to keep you informed as best as we can. North Carolina has at least 7,821 reported cases of the virus as of this morning, and 278 people have died. That's according to data collected by the News and Observer from state and county health departments. The state's Department of Health and Human Services tally included an additional 388 cases on Thursday morning, up from 269 the day before. At least 486 North Carolinians were hospitalized with COVID-19 as of yesterday morning, compared to 434 on Wednesday. Mecklenburg County still has the highest numbers in the state, with 1,377 reported cases and 37 deaths. Wake County has 633 cases and 11 deaths, and Durham County has 500 cases and 9 deaths. Governor Roy Cooper announced Thursday afternoon that he is extending the stay-at-home order through May 8th, which is Mother's Day weekend. The order was set to expire on April 29th and keeps non-essential businesses closed and bans gatherings of 10 or more people in an effort to slow the spread of the virus. He said it's clear that we are flattening the curve, but our state is not ready to lift restrictions yet. We need more time to slow the spread of the virus before we can ease the social restrictions. The announcement comes after hundreds of people gathered in downtown Raleigh earlier this week to call for the governor to reopen businesses, and some county leaders have criticized the decision as a one-size-fits-all approach. The governor is set to announce his plans for North Carolina public schools at 2 p.m. today. Also, unemployed workers in North Carolina who don't qualify for state aid can start applying for federal assistance today. Everyone in North Carolina who's out of work, whether it's due to coronavirus or not, can apply for unemployment benefits online at des.nc.gov. Then state officials will determine whether they qualify at all, and if so, whether they qualify for the state or federal benefits. Also, only about 2% of inmates at state prison facilities have been tested for the coronavirus, and more than a third of those facilities haven't tested a single inmate. Public schools in North Carolina will change how they grade students since coronavirus has kept schools closed. The State Board of Education yesterday approved a new policy that won't allow students in grades K-11 to get a failing grade for the spring semester. Students should be promoted to the next grade unless plans to retain them were well underway on March 13th. Remember televangelist Jim Bakker? He has ties with the Charlotte area now, and he said his ministry could face bankruptcy if his viewers don't send in cash or checks. Bakker said people can't use credit cards to make donations after he was accused of selling a bogus cure for the coronavirus. He served prison time after a fraud conviction in 1989, according to McClatchy News. What about this? Breweries are considering dumping their beer as the coronavirus pandemic slows down business. And we'll let you think about that before we bring that story to you at noon. And finally, bulk parking lot chicken sales continue today and through the weekend, and the place closest to Lee County is in Dunn in Harnett County, and the State Fairgrounds in Raleigh. A box of chicken is only $40 and considered a really good deal, even though you have to fight the traffic. For a look at sports, here's John.
All right, thank you, Margaret. Well, football fans were happy to have the live NFL draft taking place last night, and the first selection overall was who was expected to go first. Joe Burrow, quarterback of LSU, being taken by the Cincinnati Bengals. Carolina Panthers chose Derek Brown, defensive lineman from Auburn, with the second pick of the NFL draft. A lot of people thought they would go with Isaiah Simmons, the linebacker for Clemson. He dropped all the way to number 8 and was selected by the Arizona Cardinals. So with the 7th pick, Carolina Panthers select Derek Brown. Now, Derek Brown was born in Sugar Hill, Georgia, back in 1998, April the 15th. He later attended Lanier High School in Buford, Georgia, where he had a 33.5 quarterback sacks, 270 tackles, 5 forced fumbles, and 3 interceptions as a defensive tackle. As a senior, Brown was seen as one of the best high school defensive tackles in the nation, where he's considered by multiple schools during his recruitment, with Georgia and Alabama being seen as his favorites before he committed to Auburn University on February the 3rd of 2016. Now, as a freshman in college in 2016, Brown recorded 11 tackles with a sack and a fumble recovery. As a sophomore in 2017, Brown started in all 12 games, recorded 49 total tackles, 3.5 sacks, 8.5 tackles for a loss, and 2 forced fumbles. Brown earned second-team All-SEC honors as a junior with 48 tackles, including 10.5 for a loss and 4.5 sacks. As a senior, he had 55 tackles, including 12.5 tackles for a loss, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 4 pass breakups. Now, Marty Herney, the GM of the Carolina Panthers, on taking Derek Brown over Isaiah Simmons, he said, "We had them both pretty close together, obviously, but we both believe that you start building from the front, and I think that is what Derek does. He is not only helps guys like KK Short and the rest of the line, he also helps Shaq Thompson. He helps the linebackers. He's a big, powerful player that's got a really good first step. He's a 3-down player. Obviously, he helps you against the run, but he really gets a push